Hello YouTubers, thank you for coming to watch my video, and I decided to do this video because I am freaking irritated right now. Alright, calm down. So, I wanted to make this because I feel like there are people in this world that need some knowledge, and I know that most of you have heard this, but some people do not live by it and they don't understand it because they're not knowledgeable yet to understand what it really means. And it's simple. Do not judge a book by its cover. It is so simple. What I mean is this. People look at other people and they all judge one another. All right, I want to remind you that as a teenager, this is what you did. When you're a teenager, you're 12, 13, 14, 15 and up, 15, 16, 17, 18. Those are the teen years. Those are the awkward years because you're really at the moment and you're like, okay, am I a kid? Am I an adult? You go through this weird stage because you don't know who you are and you don't know your purpose in life and you don't know what you're doing. And it's just awkward. And so you feel like everybody around you is judging you because when you are a teenager, you are being judged because all those teenagers are unknowledgeable. They don't have the knowledge yet. So yes, all of those teenagers that you're going to school with are judging you. And so you have to get quick and you're like, oh, I'm going to judge that person before they judge me. All right. So that's why as a teenager, you judge people and you're like, oh, that person is this and that person's that. And like your brain has compartments in it. It's like a big filing cabinet and it has these folders and all these folders have labels. They all have labels on it. Like you look at this person and you say, oh, he looks like an idiot. So I'm going to find the idiot folder. This one's labeled as an idiot and I'm going to stick him in that folder. This girl, she looks like a hoe. I'm going to find my hoe. Oh, here it is. I'm going to put her in that hoe. Okay, then you have all these people labeled in your freaking brain. And that's the way you keep it. But then when you get older and you have knowledge in your mind, then you learn differently. You find that everybody is different and you find that everybody goes through something in their life. I don't care who you are, you're going to go through a big disaster somewhere in your life. If you haven't been through it yet, you will. You will. Everybody has to learn from their mistakes. Everybody has to learn through the journeys that you walk. When you go on a hiking trip, you're packed, you're ready, you're walking through the forest or whatever, you're hiking and you're going towards something. And through that journey that you go through, you will see beautiful things and you might see some scary things like snakes or spiders or scorpions or whatever, and those are scary, but you learn, oh, I better not step there, that might have a snake bite. This is just an example. I'm trying to teach you guys something, and maybe I'm going too deep with this, but I feel like people really need to know because full-grown adults do not even have this knowledge still. Everybody judges everybody. Everybody judges them. Everybody has a compartment and they put labels on every single person that they look at. And it's like they don't even have the knowledge. When people tell you don't judge a book by its cover, that means when you look at a person, you don't judge them for what they look like. I will give you an example. I know a person, okay, and in my life, he was in my life for a long time, but he lives in a home that is torn down. It's rugged, it's old, it's rugged. He's got junk everywhere. He collects items everywhere. He's got tons of junk, like junk. To you, it's junk. To him, he finds it precious, but he lives like he's poor, and you look at him and you think, this man is poor. But really, this man, he has money like you wouldn't believe. He's got cha-ching. He's got money. And like you wouldn't never know that if you looked at him. But that's why he's smart, though. He makes it look like he's poor because people judge as soon as they look at you. And then you will never know that that man has money. He's smart. But he is a good example why you do not judge a book by its cover. A book should always be opened up and read before you judge it. You have to go through and you read the story. You have to look at a person and you have to open them up, and then you can freaking judge them. You will have a right to judge them of your own free will, but don't just look at somebody and say, that person's this, that person's that, that person's this. That means just because I have blonde hair, don't freaking judge me because I have blonde hair. Well, she's got blonde hair, so she's blah, 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 blah. Or this person has zits on their face, so this person's blah, 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 blah. Well, just because the cover has a freaking zit on it doesn't mean that it's a terrible book. It means freaking open the book and read. You need to look at people and understand that we all have our own story that we could write. We all have a story that we could write, and we could all have an awesome story, a beautiful story, an amazing story. You don't know what their story is. So why are you going to judge a person by what they look like? Do not judge a person by the color of their skin either. Because somebody is a different color than you, you're going to judge them. You don't know their life. You don't know what they do. It's not like because they are blonde-headed, or I don't like blonde-headeds because they're witches, or I don't like redheads because they're evil because they got red hair and they're feisty. That's what they say, but don't judge a book by its cover because you don't know. You don't know until you open the book and read the book. People just open the book and read it. When you look at a person, don't judge a person by what they look like. Do not. You have to open them up and say, read their story, listen to their story, absorb what they have, and if you don't like it, then you can say, okay, but you know what? Nobody even asked for your freaking opinion anyway. Nobody asked what you think about me. If somebody says, what do you think about me? Then you can say, oh, well, you're a hoe. What do you think about me? You're an idiot. What do you think about me? You're a freaking queen. A queen? Okay, I'll take that. But don't judge a book by its cover. Just don't do it. It's immature. That's what people do whenever they're a freaking teenager. They judge people by what they look like because they are in defense. Because, why? They got a lot of issues. Whenever you're a teenager, you have those issues, and you gotta hurry up and judge other people before they judge you because you're insecure about yourself. When you're insecure about yourself, then that's when you judge a book by its cover. If you are knowledgeable to know, you don't judge a book by its cover. You have to read the story to understand it. And nobody even asked for your freaking opinion anyway. So that is what I have to say. And I hope you guys listen to my story, and I hope that you learn and you find within you that you're mature enough to understand. And please just read a book before you judge it, okay? All right, I'm gone. Deuces.